Right. Our fans were absolutely awesome tonight. I think anytime that you can, play a physical game like that and control the rushing attack on both sides of the ball, it's going to create success. Clean relatively on special teams play, really good on third down. Still some moments there for growth. In the red zone, we got to go come away with points. We got to go score. That didn't show up a couple times tonight, and it could hurt you later on in the season. So that's something we'll definitely attack moving forward this year. But overall, proud of our guys' performance and the growth.
Sort of here on the right there.
Run game was great throughout. Kind of what allowed Jordan and the offense to move it so well there.
Yeah, I think our offensive staff had a really great plan, of understanding where we wanted to be able to attack in the run game. And I thought our offensive line, blocked well. And then we were able to block well at the second level as well and not going down on first contact. I think you saw that multiple times from Jordan tonight, where he got hit and he continued to push for extra yards.
On the left, Rob.
If you could just speak to the defensive performance the last 2 weeks, really, and Jordan Birch really being a game wrecker, but a lot of other guys contributing as well.
Yeah, I just think ultimately that's our standard, right? That we want to be able to perform week in and week out, regardless of opponent. There's a way that you want to go out there and play defense. We knew that they had an attack that was tough to be able to stop, and once we were able to kind of secure the run game, it made them play a little bit left-handed.
Right, Zach.
When Dylan has those 2 interceptions, as a veteran player, what do you do on the sideline with him? Do you pull him aside? Do you kind of let him go through it? What do you do? How do you handle that?
We had a conversation, but that's a moment to reset. This guy's played a lot of snaps. Again, it's not easy to play college football, but timing is so important. Understanding where we're at on the field is so important. I think those will be great growth moments for Dylan.
James, left.
From the time he arrived, you guys had high expectations of Jordan Birch and thought that he could be a double-digit sack guy. What's allowing him to wreak this level of havoc and start reaching his potential, Dan?
Well, he's playing with great violence, and he's the kind of person that shouldn't be blocked one-on-one, and we're doing a good job defensively of creating one-on-one opportunities for him, and he's doing a good job of taking advantage of those. He'd be the first one to tell you that, great rush starts with great coverage. It starts with other guys on the front, that do a great job rushing that makes him have a one-on-one, so he's been able to take advantage of those, and that's what we expect from Jordan.
Right here on the right.
Tez had 10 catches tonight, which brought his season average up to 8.6. What is it about the way he plays that makes him so consistently dependable?
Yeah, I think one, our offensive staff does an unbelievable job of moving him around, so it's hard to get a beat on where Tez is going to be at on any given play, with the movements and motions that we use. And then he's just an elusive player. He's hard to cover. He's got great bursts, and he's very consistent. From that, he's become, a safety net, in a lot of ways for our offense and the way he's able to get open.
Right here on the left.
I know you had said that you had seen some things that you guys could continue to improve on, but would you say that this was still your most? Would you say that this was your most complete game so far this season?
Yeah, probably in a lot of ways it was. Like I said, there's certainly some moments for growth and some opportunities that you can't let slip away that we got to be able to take advantage of. But overall, as a team, I thought we played well.
Back left here. And then Matt, right behind you.
I know this game meant a little bit more to you and your family. Did you ever look up in the stands at all tonight? Was there ever a moment where you just felt a little bit more emotional, maybe because of that?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. This game was definitely special for a lot of people. Anybody that's been affected by cancer, I couldn't help but notice the people ringing the bell out there on the field, and I remember that moment and what it felt like. So it's certainly special for our family, certainly special for a lot of people out there tonight.
All right, Matt, in the back.
Can you describe just the impact Caldwell's having up front? Plays a position, sometimes doesn't register any sacks, but we know stats, but we know he's doing more than that.
Yeah, if anybody's watching film, they know that Jamari's affecting the game, right? He's an impactful player. He requires 2 hats on him almost at all times. He's playing with great effort, so I'm really proud of Jamari's performance and his growth so far this season.
On the right, Eric.
Yeah, 50-yard kick was the first for an Oregon kicker, I think, in like 15 years. What went into that? And I guess Andrew's a guy we haven't seen for a while, and maybe give us some insights into his story.
Yeah, I mean, I told him after the play, I didn't want to tell him before, but this is exactly what we did. We had to do this period we call red zone lockout, and we almost created the exact same kick earlier in practice this week, and he nailed it. So for him to have the opportunity to be able to attack that, he's got a big leg. I thought that was really a big positive for him, and when he's healthy, he can definitely be a guy that helps our team.
Back left, Brady.
Early in the game when emotions are running high and then you get a turnover on one end followed by a turnover on the other, what do you tell your guys when the emotions are high like that to keep them like reset almost?
Next play, right? Next play. It's the most important play. Your ability to go from one play to the next is really important. I thought our guys did that tonight.
Right here, second row middle.
Hey, Coach, how long do you savor this win before that you turn your attention now to Saturday next week?
Right around till midnight, right? We'll focus on putting this game to bed and really evaluating and grading it early in the morning tomorrow, and then move on to our next opponent.
Front right, Zach.
Did you get a chance to see that Trishawn Holden catch the first half and any reaction to that, what he did?
I'm glad he caught it. Yeah, I was glad he caught it. It was impressive. Would have loved it if he caught it with his feet standing up, so he could keep running. But big time players make big time plays.
Front left, James.
No, you wanted more explosive runs. Does 6 10-plus yarders with the 41-yarder, does that suffice? Or do you still? Who wouldn't want more 20s? But
Yeah, I'll take more.
enough?
Yeah, I'll take more. I thought we ran the ball effectively tonight, and that's something we have to continue to do to be, a great team.
The offensive line did a really good job at picking up blitzes. There's one play in particular where Poncho slid from center to pick up a blitzing nickel. What did you like in terms of their ability to keep Dylan upright tonight?
Well, more than anything, after that play was over with, I loved hearing the communication from the offensive line. When you start getting into some exotic pressures like we saw a few tonight, and the ability to recognize that he's free and overlap in that situation is a big-time play by him. So for us to play great football, we have to stay out of negative plays. That was a great situation there where he was able to do that.
All the way to the back, Matt.
Last drive before half, the touchdown. How important was that just for momentum for you guys and for the momentum of this game?
Yeah, I think it was really critical just in a lot of ways. One, knowing that they're going to come back with the ball out of half, right? And it changes like kind of the level of the game, where we're at in the game in that moment to, create that extra score.
Back middle left.
Coach, we saw Marion Winston kind of kick down into like a defensive tackle as a pass rusher a lot in this game. Just kind of what makes him such a unique athlete to be able to kind of rush from that spot as a typical off-ball linebacker?
Yeah, just one. That's something he's done consistently for us throughout the year. We were able to do it on some second and long opportunities in this game. But he's a guy that consistently does his job and executes at a high level and makes the players around him play better. And he's one of our better interior rushers with his athleticism at times.
Right here, on the right.
Tatum led the game with 7 tackles, and he was just very active and involved like he has been all year. What's it been like to see him progress as a sophomore?
Yeah, I just wish you guys could come watch him practice on Tuesday, right, or Wednesday. This guy plays with unbelievable effort all the time. He's quiet, out there on the field, but he executes at a really high level. I think that same thing showed up tonight.
Eric, on the right.
You talked about it, kind of red zone issues. What are some things that, I guess you have to check out the film and tell us that, but what are some things that kind of got in the way there?
I think just timing. The last 2 weeks, those have been later balls, and we have to do a better job, with that of, getting the ball out in time and knowing that we already have points in those situations.
James, front left.
The offense generated a lot of attention, understandably, in the offseason, Dan, but it seems like so far the identity of this team might be on the defensive end, particularly with how dominant you guys have been the last couple of weeks. Is that reflective? Do you think that that's what the identity of this team could be on the defensive side of the ball this season?
Well, I think there's going to be moments within this season that both sides are going to have to lift each other up, and you want to be able to play complementary football. At times we certainly play great defense, and at times we play great offense. For us to be who we want to be, we got to be able to do that across the board in special teams, offense, and defense. So we always talk about at some moment you might have to put each other on each other's back, and that showed up a couple times in this game. But it'll be something that's going to continue throughout the season if we want to be a great team.
Right here on the end, second row.
Coach, your defense played shutout tonight, and going into Ohio State, it's going to be a very tough game. I want to understand how the defense adjusted to playing in this Big Ten and playing with teams that are known for rushing the ball, and what your plan is continuing forward.
Yeah, ultimately, I've said this before, obviously the Big Ten is an elite conference and a special one that we get to be a part of, but winning football is winning football regardless of conference, right? And if you're able to control the run game on both sides of the ball, that's going to equate to wins a lot of times.
Zach, on the right.
Limited sample size. You need to watch the tape, I know. What is your instant takeaways from Dante Moore and some of the young guys that got in late in that game?
Well, you said it. I got to be able to go watch the tape. But he's what he shows on the game field is the same things that we're able to see in practice. I think he was able to operate cleanly tonight, but want to be able to go out and watch the tape and see what I can pick from that.
In the back, Matt.
Next Saturday against Ohio State is going to be maybe the most anticipated game played here at Autzen ever. How do you feel like your team managed not looking ahead to that the last 4 weeks? And now how do you manage that emotion going into this one?
Well, they've done a really good job of not listening to you guys, right? But finally you guys can talk about it. We're finally there, right? We're going to play them now. So it's a great team. Obviously, they do a lot of things. There's a reason they're one of the best teams in the country, so it's going to be a great challenge for us, and our fans are going to have to show up and be phenomenal in that one.
Right here on the right.
Dylan obviously had some mistakes tonight, but what's it like to see him take a huge hit like that and then come right back in, drop his shoulder, and get in the end zone by himself?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid, man. You saw tonight, had the wind knocked out of him a little bit on that play, and he was ready to run off the field. I said, hey, hang tight. Let's buy us some time, make sure we can get our next play call ready to go. So he probably could have ran off a lot earlier, but, we had like a Rod Tidwell moment, or isn't that who it is, from Jerry Maguire, right? I mean, I said, hang tight. Let's get our next play call figured out first. So Dylan's a tough kid, did a really good job.
Front left, James.
With how enormous next weekend is, how, from a recruiting standpoint, Dan, at what point do you almost put a cap in terms of how many recruits do you want to get here? Where of course you want as much as possible, but of course you don't want it to be almost too much to where it's unmanageable.
Well, I think the thing that we want great players to be here, and there will be certainly some great players here next week. But the important thing is the game, right? And we talk about play the game, not the occasion. That's going to be part of it for us. The best thing we can do for this football team is go play a great a great game, and the recruiting will help kind of take care of itself when you do a good job of that.
That's all we have for you.
Thank you, guys.